She's just sat right where I was going to sit to do this video. Why is she like this? Hello. It's been a very long time since I did this. In fact, literally I haven't done it since I moved into this house, which was back in September. I've just finished third year, which was my fourth year of uni, because if you are a regular here, you will know that I failed second year and retook it. So I've been at uni for 4 years now. Yeah, my exams are over. Get my results on the 17th, so I have everything crossed. So yeah, that was the life update that no one asked for. She's gonna attack me again. You got me. This month, it is a whole year since I made the first video on this YouTube channel, which was a coming out video. The reason why I did that was because I wanted to be in control of how my sexuality was perceived by the people that I know. It was important to me that everyone knew, so that it wasn't a thing that people could speculate about. Last May, I made that video and it was amazingly well received. It's got over 2,000 views on YouTube, which is more friends than I have on Facebook, which is wild. I got mostly very, very positive feedback on Facebook, on Twitter. So here I am, a year on, just kind of wanting to give you all a life update on where my life is now, what's happening with me in the context of it being a year since I came out to everyone. As I said, there were a lot of comments on social media. A lot of people reached out to me, and some people who I really didn't expect reached out and shared their stories with me, which was really, it's just such an overwhelming experience, and it was incredible to be trusted with something that for a lot of people is very much still a secret, which is sad, but also I understand that not everyone is in the same position as I am. Not everyone feels they will be accepted or knows they won't be accepted by their family, and that's really tough. So, you know, I'm not an advocate for coming out at all costs. Like, you can live authentically in your own way and be honest with yourself and not be out to the general public, and that's okay. That's cool and that's valid. It's a cliche, but some of the people whose judgment I was most scared of shared that they themselves belong to the LGBT community. It was surprising and it was moving. I'll say it again, I am incredibly grateful to everyone who messaged me for whatever reason, just because, you know, they were straight and they wanted to thank me for sharing that and wanted to express that they were proud of me or proud to know me. When I came out last year, I came out as queer and said that that was my preferred identifier, but some things have changed. I've got my little book of notes here to tell me what I wanted to cover. I'm still queer, but I don't use queer as my primary identifier anymore. I do use bisexual. I wasn't comfortable with that a year ago. I don't really think my sexuality has changed in any way, but the label that I use to describe myself has changed. I read a really great book called Notes for a Bi Revolution by Sherry Eisner, where they talk a lot about bisexual activism and community. That book was amazing and really changed my perspective on a lot of things. I would highly recommend it to anyone, really, if they want to understand the specific problems bisexual people face and the specific stigmas we deal with. It's interesting from the perspective of a bi person reading it, but I also feel like if you were a straight or gay person reading it, it would maybe illuminate some things that you hadn't necessarily considered before. That book was pretty instrumental in me feeling like I could identify as bi, and it was a word that I was welcome to. It took a long time for me to find a word to describe my sexuality that I was comfortable with, and when I finally found and accepted queer, that was such a big step. It then kind of opened doors for me in terms of being able to identify with other words. I don't really know how to explain it. Like, I found the perfect correct word, and then words before that just had felt a little bit uncomfortable and not really fitting, I was okay with because I knew what I really was. I use queer still, but I mainly describe myself as bisexual. People know what it means. It illuminates the specific problems that I face as someone who is attracted to people of more than one gender. One thing I do want to talk about quickly is people who say bisexual is exclusionary, because bi means two and there are more than two genders. Words mean what they are used to mean. Bi means attraction to two or more genders, to my gender and to other genders. Bi doesn't have to be trans exclusionary. A lot of trans people are bi, actually, and it invalidates them to say it's trans exclusionary. There's a lot more about that in the Shiri Eisner book that I recommended, if that's still something that confuses you and you would like to read some more about. One thing that I kind of think does come with identifying as bisexual, or partly in identifying with queer, I got this as well, biphobia from lesbians, which is really shit, actually. Biphobia from lesbians really sucks, because you're like, we're all in this together. We're all women and womanish people in the LGBT community, and yeah, it really sucks. Lesbians insisting that bisexual women are really straight. Bisexual women aren't bisexual for men. We're bisexual because we are bisexual. It's genuinely that simple. Yeah. We're bi because we're bi. It's not so we can fuck lesbians over and then go back and date men. It really isn't. I would just like to quickly raise some things that I just wish people would stop doing to bi people, specifically bi women. Stop fucking asking us for threesomes. When you see two girls kissing, don't walk up to them and assume that they're gonna want you to get involved. Chances are they don't. People assume that if I have a girlfriend and I am bisexual, then I must want a man to be involved in our relationship, which I really don't. When bisexual people settle down in a relationship or get married or whatever, they're not picking a side. If I marry Ema, I'm not gonna be a lesbian. I'm still bisexual. If we split up and I dated a guy, I'm not becoming straight. I'm not one when I'm attracted to one gender and one when I'm attracted to the other. I am bisexual all the time. I really don't think that's a difficult concept, but for a lot of people, it really seems to be. A lot of people take bi people ending up in a heterosexual relationship as them actually not being bi, but that doesn't make sense. That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Believe bi people when they say they're bisexual. I guess a weird one is that everyone believes me when I say I'm bisexual, and I've only ever dated whatever girls. But if it had only been boys and I said I was bisexual, I don't think people would believe me. That's kind of shit. So yeah, don't do that. Believe bisexuals. We know more about our sexuality than you do. That's just how it is. Well, until I'm back, which hopefully won't be such a long time next time, take care of yourselves. Love the bisexuals in your life. Vote Labour. Keep the Tories out. Look after yourselves. Be safe. Be kind. And I'll speak to you soon.